Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Peoples here, and today we are going to be, as you see on the screen, organize your notes into a rough draft using the research paper outline. Now, let me show you what this research paper outline looks like. It's available on the Moodle page. You will also get a copy of it in class. But here's what it looks like. It has some open spaces for the hook, some background information, and the main idea thesis. That's what your introduction paragraph is going to be organized as. Then you've got the body paragraphs, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and body paragraph 3. And then there's a spot for you to prepare for your conclusion. I am going to take you through how to complete your introduction on that outline, how to take your notes and complete a body paragraph, and then how to complete the conclusion, so that if you follow these directions, you can fill in that research paper outline with your information and then take it and use that to write your rough draft. And it hopefully makes that process easier. So let's get started here and figure out how to organize our notes into this outline. Now, the first thing that comes up on this outline is the hook. Some rules to remember about the hook. There should be no pronouns. I, me, you, it, no pronouns. You should, with your hook, get your reader's attention and try to keep it between 1 to 3 sentences in length. You could see below, this is my hook on the paper that we looked at in class. December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. This is a now famous quote from President Roosevelt on the day following the attack on Pearl Harbor. So there's my hook, and I've put it into my actual outline. Now the next step in the introduction is to have some background information, basic information that the reader needs to know to find out more about the topic later in the paper. Some rules. It's only going to be general information about your subject, not too in-depth. And then again, no pronouns. In this paper, you're not going to be using I, me, you. You're going to be using more academic language, less pronouns. And so here's the background information that I used for my paper. Roosevelt was referring to the surprise attack by the Japanese on the naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. And then the last part of the introduction is the most important, the main idea, the thesis statement. Some of the rules about a main idea is that it needs to be a complete sentence and that it is a statement. It's not a question, it's a statement. Again, no pronouns. And then your main idea statement has to connect to all 3 body paragraphs. Or if you want to think of it, all 3 of your areas of focus. Okay? So for mine, this is my thesis statement. The attack on Pearl Harbor was horrible and had many causes and devastating effects. One of my body paragraphs is going to be about the attack. One's going to be about the causes. One's going to be about the effects. You know that because it's all in my thesis statement. So when I look at the introduction as a whole, this is what it looks like put together. December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. This is a now famous quote from President Roosevelt on the day following the attack on Pearl Harbor. Roosevelt was referring to the surprise attack by the Japanese on the naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The attack on Pearl Harbor was horrible and had many causes and devastating effects. Now my reader knows that my paper is about Pearl Harbor, about the attack, the causes, and the effects. So then I move into my body paragraph. Now the body paragraphs are where you're going to take your notes, the information you took down on notes over the last couple of days, and turn them into this outline so that you can put them into a rough draft. Let's take a look and see how this works. Alright, so the first part of body paragraph 1, again as a reminder not to use pronouns. And then always use complete sentences with your topic sentence, topic sentence or topic statement. Every paragraph needs to have a topic statement or topic sentence. In this case, I'm taking one from the main reasons, or one of the main reasons from the intro. So I'm going to start with the causes of the attack. So my topic sentence for body paragraph 1 is there were many causes to the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. And I'm getting that right from here. Then, in the box that says supporting facts, examples, evidence, this is where I'm going to take my information from my notes and I'm going to put them in to the body paragraph. So I had all these research questions. And in this box is where I'm going to put the notes or the answers to those research questions. You want to have a minimum of 4 bullets for this section so that you have enough to create a paragraph. So you can see here, what I have circled, that information is information I took directly from my note cards. And so if I do this, if I continue moving forward, get out of the draw stuff, if I move forward, here's my notes. I have my question at the top, what happened that led to the bombing of Pearl Harbor. I have my information that I collected from websites, and in this case from my World Book Online source. So I've got that collected. I've just taken those and I've put them into this location. And so you can see right down here, those are the same things from my notes. Japanese trying to expand power. U.S. didn't want Japan to take over Asia. Okay. If you didn't do on a notebook paper, you could have done it on a PowerPoint, and again, this is what it would look like. I would have had my question there, and then my notes and my source. And again, I just transfer them to this outline page where it says body paragraph. So once I have those in, then I have to place a transition sentence in there to transition me from body paragraph 1 to body paragraph 2. And so I have to connect my previous paragraph with my next paragraph. And so I do that by concluding body paragraph 1 by saying these events led to the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now I'm going to move into my body paragraph number 2. Again, going through the same process, writing a topic statement and then collecting the information from my notes and putting them into that supporting facts, examples, evidence box, and then going and creating my transition sentences. Once I've done that for all 3 of my body paragraphs, then the final step of this outline is to create your conclusion. And so before we get to the conclusion, here's what my body paragraph then looks like. There are many causes. Well, I'm going to let you read it. I'll just pause here for a second. You go ahead and read. Okay. So after you complete all 3 body paragraphs, then you move on to your conclusion. And your conclusion is going to restate the main idea. You're going to summarize the main points. And then you're going to end with a powerful thought, something that the reader is going to remember. And so a couple of the rules for the main idea statement, you're going to use different words than in the introduction. So you're going to say the same thing, but you're going to think of different words. This might be a place where a thesaurus might come in to help you think of a new way to say something, or rearrange the sentence. You know, in language arts, you've learned about sentence fluency and having all kinds of different ways to start a sentence. This would be a place where you could use that and apply those skills. So what I have is, in conclusion, the Japanese had many reasons for attacking Pearl Harbor, but the terrible attack had long-lasting results. In the introduction, I used causes instead of reasons. In the introduction, I used horrible attack. In the introduction, I used effects rather than long-lasting results. And so I have some different wordings there, but I'm still saying the same thing. And then the next part of the conclusion, I want to summarize my main points. And again, I'm going to try and use different words in the introduction, and I'm going to try and include a sentence about each body paragraph. So for me, I need to have something about the causes, something about the attack, and something about the effects. And so if I go through that, my main points are: the United States tried to stop Japan's expansion, causing the terrible events of December 7th. There I've got 2 of those things right there, 2 of my body paragraphs. The surprise attack had lasting effects like the killing of thousands of sailors and the loss of ships and airplanes. So there's my 3rd. Then I want to finish and wrap up my conclusion and ultimately my paper by having a final and powerful thought. No new information is going to be put into this thought, but I'm going to try and be creative and leave the reader with something that they're going to remember. And so I go back to my hook. Clearly, President Roosevelt was correct when he said December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. It is a date which will forever remain in the hearts and minds of Americans. So if you were to look at my concluding paragraph, this is what it would look like altogether. Go ahead and read through that. Okay, now this is a short instructional video on how to complete the research paper outline. How to take your notes from your notes and turn them into this outline. And then eventually you can take this outline and just write your final, or not your final draft, but your first rough draft of the paper. Okay. If you have questions about this, please see me in class. I'll be happy to answer those questions. You could also watch the video more than once. If there's something you didn't understand, or as you're filling out your research paper outline, you could have the video up so you could go through it step by step while you are completing the outline. That might be helpful in completing this and getting it done. Again, let me know if you have questions in class. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this will help. Thanks.